So let's transition a little bit maybe to some of the stuff that's working for you guys today. What do you see? Obviously, you have a big project coming up, but maybe we'll start with 814 Lanes and Games. What do you see working inside your centers today?
Yeah, right now it's challenging for us. As we talked about before, Pennsylvania is a great bowling market, but there's also a short window to do things outside in the summer.
Yeah.
So Kids Bowl Free has been working tremendously for us the last couple of years. I think we had almost 4,000 kids sign up last year. And,
Wow.
And we're about around that same high 3,000s this year. So, that allows you to bring that customer base in. So having the different attractions really helps for the group events and birthday parties and all the different things in the community. We're actually having a blood drive on Monday. So trying to think outside the box, how can we get some different people in here? So we partnered, and again, something to help the community and to bring new, maybe people who hadn't been to our center before in a different crowd, giving away a game card for everybody who helps and donates some blood. So that's one thing. We've done a lot of charity things. We have a charity crane. So we have that right as you walk in the front door. And we just pick a different charity every quarter, and everything that goes into that crane, every dollar, we donate right to the charity, and then we supply the plush for it. So
very cool. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, and the charities love it. They're contacting us all the time. And so basically giving back and helping a lot of the nonprofits with fundraisers and things like that's worked very well for us. The Kids Bowl Free has been great. Like I said, we have a heavy league base, so that's good. And a sales team that goes out and works with all the different bigger events and things like that, the field trips, and all of those things are working pretty well.
Yeah, tell me about that sales team then. I'd be curious to hear about that.
Yeah, so we have like a birthday party coordinator, and then we have an outside salesperson, and we have a couple other people that are basically calling previous guests and who have set up events and parties and things like that, contacting schools, contacting daycares, going out to businesses, basically any different group. We do a lot of tours with the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts where we bring them in. Some of the schools with the STEM programs works really well because we can offer a tour behind the scenes. They can kind of see how that works, along with bowling some games, having some drinks, some different things like that. So yeah, but I think it's important to keep that group business, to having a great team.
Oh yeah,
working just on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really curious to hear maybe some of the details of how you run that, because we're starting to offer that as a service for some people, because the group events just seem to really be on a tear, whether it's the teams or the nonprofit fundraisers or the birthday parties. It seems to be a great way for business, and that it is a dual marketing effect, because if you have an event, you bring a lot of people in who maybe haven't been in a long time or ever, and it kind of self-reinforces.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that a lot with our fundraisers. So we have this will be the second year for it coming up. And last year they booked 30 teams for a fundraiser. So we had 2 shifts. And this year they're projecting to have 48 teams. So 2 full shifts of selling lane sponsorship. And then we allow them to come in and do a basket party. And then they do 50-50, and they do that. Very successful, helping them raise a good bit of money for whatever organization it is. So we try to bring those in. And like you're saying, it's a different group that may not have been in. They may not have come in, and then they look and they're like, oh, you have an escape room. We thought about doing that with our business with team building. Yeah. So you just never know who you're going to. A lot of our outside salesperson and either myself or my brother or somebody from our team are going to different networking events. So part of 2 different chambers and a couple other networking groups. We actually host a networking group at our business on every Wednesday. And then we have another one that's a local one that they'll come in once or twice a year. And it's more of a quarterly or monthly. I think they do monthly. Okay. And just making those connections. Went to a larger networking through another business association, and just talking to everybody and letting them know what you do and how you can help them, whether that be nonprofits or businesses looking to. Team building is great for motivation for anybody, as we know. Yeah,
especially when it comes to more virtual based teams. I find that it becomes even more prescient that they have a spot where they can get together, and because if you're not in the office together, you don't have a lot of those opportunities to build the camaraderie. And a spot like yours is like the perfect opportunity for them to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Who wouldn't want to have fun? We have a few different schools that bring their teachers out at the end of the year,
Yeah.
after all the testing and as the year winds down, or as soon as the school year finishes up. It's kind of a way to reward them, but also to build that team up. So we've kind of taken that and gone to other schools and say, hey, have you thought about doing this? And some people haven't thought about doing it, and you have to show them, hey, there's other people that are doing this, and they're having a good time and they're having a lot of success doing it.
Yeah, I think that sometimes is like half the battle, right? It's just suggesting that this exists and going out and saying, hey, here's this package. You don't have to do all this planning, because that's, if you're HR, you got a lot of work. There's one more thing to have to plan these parties. If you say, here's this thing that lots of people are doing, they like it, all you have to do is check these boxes. Do you want food, or how much do you want to pay per head, per person, whatever? And then you can make that easy for them. And just the fact knowing that it exists is planting the seed is half the battle, I find. Because like you said, who doesn't want to have fun?
Absolutely. Some people will, especially when you have that family entertainment center in your name, they will think that, oh, that's just a place for kids. Oh, it's just for kids. But when we're building centers for adults, we're putting things
large
in there.
Kids.
And everybody's a kid at heart, right?
Exactly.
In some form or another. So we have people that are kids that are 3 years old bowling, and we have people in their 80s and 90s bowling.
Right.
And it's the number one participation sport in the country, right?
Yep, 70 million a year.
So anybody can do it, and you don't have to be good to have fun. And a lot of people realize that, but some people don't necessarily think of that. And some companies or some groups or teams, you mentioned teams, we do a lot of the travel teams now are huge. And it's similar to what you're saying about being virtual. They get together for practices here and there, but they're from multiple different schools, so they come together just for games or for practices. So we've been really pushing to contact all those travel teams and say, hey, why don't you do a team building event here?
Yeah, again, of the year.
Play laser tag, or you can do an escape room. And the escape rooms are great because you really have to work together to get to solve them, to get out. Especially one of the rooms that we have is you can't get out without the other team. So you don't have a choice but to work together if you're going to.
I like that. Yeah, talk about a great team building event. Hey, did you like this video? Great. We make 10 of them a week. Subscribe to learn more and keep learning about what's working in the industry. Talk to you then.